Hello and welcome to AntipoDnD, a show in which a bunch of Australians play Dungeons and Dragons in a setting partly inspired by prehistoric Australia and New Zealand. Apologies for the lack of show last week. I had a tooth removed and by Thursday night I was not yet ready to really speak for more than 5 minutes, and I did not want to know where the story would go if I just let these four talk for 3 hours.
Nowhere.
To a bathhouse or a boat.
Yeah, just
hang out.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours of content.
So, I
hang
am
out in
David,
the
I am the
virtual
Dungeon
world.
Master. I am joined as ever by April.
Oh, you did it! You didn't look at the screen! You didn't look at the screen!
I decided to look at the screen that just has your faces on it and doesn't have your names on it. And I was going April, then
Yeah,
Kind
Kaipor.
One, and they became
Yeah.
April.
Kaipor. Yeah.
See, that reminds me of that song. I like to eat apples and bananas, except it's April.
Okay. April,
Yeah.
Kind One, Doug, Zindy. I've
Nailed
been
it.
doing this for 60 episodes.
To 60.
This is our 60th episode.
Ah, happy
Impressive.
birthday.
What anniversary is that? It's not gold.
Oh, it must be one of those intriguing woodsy metallic ones.
I mean, it's got
Strange.
the number 6 in it, so it's got to be a sexy
Mm.
anniversary.
As sexy
Yeah.
anniversary.
60th.
Yeah.
Everyone
Who's-
Google.
Yeah, who's go Google is faster?
All right, let's pause the podcast, figure out...
Diamonds.
No.
The video.
Diamonds.
Diamonds.
baby.
Diamonds.
Okay,
Lame.
so I expect one of you to use a spell tonight that has diamond. Actually,
No,
For the
let's
60th
not, because that
anniversary-
means a revive.
Yeah, that
if
means
you
someone's
cast
dying.
if you have to cast a spell once tonight that has diamond as its component, you will get it for free.
Oh,
Just
right.
tonight.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
cute.
Just
Sorry.
tonight.
Okay. Someone
Derek, if
immediately.
you're gonna die.
Yeah, I was
You've got
gonna
to do it
say.
tonight,
Just
man.
a Kill Vatericus episode
Yeah.
then, right?
Oh my gosh, let's just have a Kill Bill episode and it's just a terror case.
So
I did have a thought that might get me killed, but we'll get there when we actually start.
Oh,
Fade
no.
off one again?
It's always.
No,
enough.
surprisingly.
Derek is one of those thoughts every minute. So last session, our heroes succeeded in rescuing Dagmar, who had been captured by Faris the Fixer, and I realised last week I unintentionally named after my dentist. And you know how names just, sounds and names just stick in your brain, and when you're coming up with a name for a character, you just throw it down and go, okay, I don't think that's anybody I know. And then you realise that by the time you've already published it that, yeah, it is someone I knew, just not very well.
I'm glad we thoroughly humiliated.
we fixed him, yeah.
I mean, my dentist in Newcastle was basically a cornate berserker. He was an angry man. So I'm kind of glad that that's not who your dentist was.
So Dagmar has been rescued. They escaped with Faris the Fixer in coconut crab form. Were detained by the night watch of the town guard, who believed had all reason to believe that a robbery was in progress.
It sort of was. We were unrobbing.
And this was soon sorted out after a conversation with Captain Rowe of the town guard, who brought in an individual who is said to be a priest of Fain Othwin. These four know it was Fain Othwin himself, the god of truth, justice, and so forth,
And buttholes.
who was able to confirm the truth of the matter at no small cost to the town guard, but they will recoup that cost from the party found to be lying, which is how it works. But
Fix him.
in the process of rescuing this individual, there was some suspicion of whether there was demonic activity taking place in the house that that she had been rescued from. Our heroes agreed to accompany the town guards back to the mansion and do a proper, thorough inspection from basement to top floor, and found no evidence of demonic activity, but several highly valuable items,
Yeah.
some
No,
magical.
no. Highly dangerous that we needed to take back to the, Ezra and his boobies.
Some were
Confiscating them.
genuinely dangerous magical artifacts. Some very clearly, one at least, must have been stolen, as it obviously belongs to the stone hold of Grund, which Dagmar was formerly a citizen of. Now, where we finished last episode, you had basically just finished your business at the mansion itself.
We had just put a bunch of things in our bag for
Yes,
research.
I believe.
And then did not put the sword in the bag because we
We didn't
realized
put-
that was a bad idea.
Bad
Yeah,
sword.
don't
Bad
pop.
sword.
Well, it's more like don't pop the bag of holding is what we
That
did also
too.
happen. Yeah,
But
the
also,
sword would be
bad
fine
sword.
in there as long as it didn't pop the bag of holding, which it would.
We don't want the sword to meet Aunt Helga.
Yeah, they probably have a lot to
unfortunate.
talk about, and
So I just shoved everything into my inventory so I wouldn't forget. So we have I don't know how to say it, the Cly lyre, the Slee lyre, Cly lyre,
The Cly.
Cly
it's
lyre,
pronounced Siobhan.
the Siobhan lyre,
The Cly liar.
Clio, a Clio,
Yes.
a
that's the
Clio.
one.
That feels like a really weird, awkward portmanteau.
It's extremely powerful. Anyway, so
It's so powerful, no one can say its name.
Kylie. Oh yeah,
Kylie?
Let's just call it
Kylie.
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 I'm sorry,
Yay.
David. I'm sorry. The moment that came out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, I've done it again.
This is Australian D&D. We must give everything a
There's
stupid
nicknames for
nickname.
everything.
Yeah,
You
Kylie
invited me
and-
to this game.
So are we still in the mansion?
That's
or
what,
are we
that's what I'm
gone?
about to ask. Where are you going
Okay.
to from the mansion?
Yeah, I don't think we would discuss all of our spoils
Yeah.
in front of.
The guards who accompanied you there, they seem to be expecting you to report back to Captain Rowe about what you found.
Oh, that's an
I mean,
interesting
Yeah,
concept.
we'll head back and say, yep, there were some things for the academy, and also no demons.
Yes,
Yeah.
although one moment just before we go, I'm going to cast Locate Creature
Okay.
on the Fearbulk.
Okay. What is the range of locate creature?
Within 1,000 feet of me.
Okay.
And if the creature is moving, I know which direction it's moving.
Let me do some measurements. I can't read that. Okay. It's not... It only covers a small part of the town of Heron's Perch.
Mhm.
And no, you do not detect the Fearbolg within 1,000 feet of the manor house.
Oh, he fucked off.
They appear to have bolted.
That's fair. I might try again when we're back in the
Nice.
sort of Nod's guest house sort of area.
Cool.
But we'll see how we go.
So quietly, as I guess we're walking to the guardhouse, are we putting anything in the bag that we're not showing? What are we doing?
Keep that crown on the DL.
Why?
The liar.
Yeah. What was that? Why,
By the
Dagmar?
crown?
Oh, that crown was definitely stolen from the Queen of Grund, and I would like to return it personally.
Wait, aren't you from? Isn't that the hold you're from?
Yes, I mean, well, I don't want to return it personally. I would like to see it returned to her with my name prominently attached to it.
Oh, trying to curry favor.
Yeah, a little bit. Partial favor, partial lol. Fuck you, Dad.
I've spoken like a true sycophant. I love
Yeah.
it. All right. So shall we? We also have that mask, the Tarthian one.
Yes, there's a couple of things in here that I kind of want to pocket to sell back to the family.
So, oh, I see. Well, why do they have this stuff in their position anyway?
Well,
they're
that's
definitely shady.
Yeah.
Like, this crown has been missing for, like, decades.
And these books, like some of these are really rare and old. I suppose it's not that unusual for nobles to have these sorts of things, but some of these are about magic and stuff.
Not to mention, who hangs onto a sword that nasty?
Exactly. Are they
Also
offense?
that.
I mean,
I guess
clearly
that's-
their fence is right. Their fence is right.
I
Sure.
mean, that's kind of the thing, right? Surely we're just presenting these to Captain Rowe and saying we're going to take them over to the Academy for detection of general level of danger and appropriate processing.
I mean, some of these we really should. I mean, if what Morsel says is correct, then the sword's probably not really should be in anyone's hands.
Is that sort of what we were hired for by
It's
Ezid?
not
I can't
nice.
Yes,
remember.
exactly. No, that's exactly what. Listen to me. Securing magical artifacts. That's my job.
Mm-hmm.
Before dickheads get them.
That's
I
right.
mean, that's fair.
I mean, a lie is not going to hurt anybody, right? But a demon sword definitely
Yes. And the less legal elements of this collection are less likely to be reported stolen. Just as a heads up. So that provides us ample opportunity to just lose them in the shuffle.
will. I see what you're saying.
Mm,
I am going to say nothing. That's my plan.
nice.
Well, and there was also the ancient elven glaive, the non-magical one.
Yes.
And there was also the Genolton coin as well. And
Should
the
we like
books.
give them that as like a not a bribe, but like a cool? Look at this cool coin we found. You can have it.
I don't know that we're giving
mean-
Captain Rowe anything, are we? We're just saying
No,
we
we're not
found
giving
these
Captain
things,
Rowe
we're going to
anything,
go get them
yes.
processed over at the Academy.
I
Okay, cool.
mean, the coin and the mask and the glaive as well, they're not magic, so they really should be turned over to society. You know, the other company that I work for.
Yeah, or sold
Or
for a
what?
profit.
What? No! Don't you have gold? You're fine.
You don't have gold.
How dare you? I have plenty of gold.
What are you on now? Check your wallet first.
It doesn't matter how much is on my person.
You
I
find
come from
Dagmar's
money.
hand already in there.
No, God, it's so empty. She would not bother.
Oh, hang on, how much money do I have?
And say Dagmar is not the one slipping Vidi an allowance. Not Vidi, Orzu.
It's true.
I have plenty. I have 800. That's
Dagmar
heaps.
believes that Orsi needs to learn from his poor budgeting.
So
It's
when
rough.
you, it's not that long a walk. So you've basically finished this conversation as you arrive at the guardhouse. So what of the artifacts, which of them are you showing to her?
Nasty sword, I think.
Definitely
Yeah,
the
show the
sword. I think
demons.
Nepenthe is
Definitely
the
show
one.
the demonic sword, yeah.
Um,
Nepenthe? No,
Yes.
that's a type of plant. Oh, no, it is the
Yeah,
right.
no,
Oh,
Nepenthe,
yes.
yeah.
That's my favorite type of carnivorous pitcher plant. There you go.
Yeah, and Captain Rowe will certainly look at that with alarm and sort of say, this,
Yeah, it's definitely pretty. Why? Do you know anything about the family who used to still own the mansion?
the Han family,
The Hung
not
family.
much. They're wealthy, generally stay out of our business. We stay out of theirs. We've not really had any cause in the past to speak to them.
That sword is massive dodgy.
It-
Quite a strange item for anyone to come in possession with, let alone.
I mean, it
regular
looks evil. I don't even have to be like magical to just look at that thing and say, that looks like it's meant to do horrible things. So
yeah, the glowing red isn't helping, is it?
Trust me, if you could smell that thing's magic, oof.
and you found this hidden away somewhere. It wasn't openly displayed.
Well, whether it was hidden or planted, we're unsure yet, I guess.
I
Perhaps the
see.
bandits planted it as a misdirect, but we're still going to take it, with your permission, of course, to the Coruscant Academy for assessment and potential storage.
Tell me, did you find anything, any evidence of stolen items while you were there? I've no record of a blade of this nature being missing, but if it's been hidden from visitors or so forth, something this valuable, then who knows what else they might have there.
Stolen,
Oh,
you
certainly
say?
you could search,
Hmm.
do like a
mean, do
deep
you have
search
a-
or something.
Wait, do you have a ledger of stolen goods?
We was looking for magic things
And
because demons and magic. No,
she says, yes, and she brings out, uh, shovels around, finds basically a book in which people make a note of things that have been stolen, the vast majority of which have not been found or returned, and most of them are very trivial items. And so it would actually take quite a while to scan through it to find specific items, if that's what you're thinking of doing.
I mean, nothing that looked like it didn't
So,
quite belong in a noble's house. Like,
I mean that's a long job. That's doing an audit of all their stuff.
a couple of rare
Yeah,
books, things like that.
Yeah, they would be the things, right? Captain, do you reckon you could either maybe you or someone could assign or could curate a list of particularly like manuscripts and stuff, I guess would be the most noblish things we found in there?
She says, well, perhaps, but the Han family, the father in particular, and his daughter, are demanding to be let back home if there's no demonic infestation there. And I currently have no reason not to let them return.
I see. Could I look for? So, I mean, it'd take a while to scan through and find. I guess it'd still take as long to find one thing as it would to find two or three, wouldn't it?
Do you want to borrow the book and see if anything comes to
Well, look,
mind?
you start at the bottom of the list, and I'll start at the
Yeah,
top.
is there like a weapons section, or is it all just sort of in order?
Is it
of loss?
alphabetical?
It's
like,
all chronological. It's
Yeah.
just in the order that it was written in. Somebody came and said, I'm missing so-and-so. All right, I'll put it in the book.
a control, fantasy control F, or
Yeah.
no.
Hang on, what have I got? Have
It
I
would
got
probably
anything that will
take
let me do that?
5 to 10 minutes, depending on what you roll.
That's
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's detect
Surely.
plot. I roll to detect
Yeah.
plot.
Come on, obviously he's a wizard, he reads all day. Give me
Okay.
that list.
Give
I
me
got
an
it.
investigation roll, please.
Investigation.
Guidance.
And Captain Rowe
Thank you.
asks that you do it outside because she has a lot of work to do at the moment.
Okay, we'll step outside to read a list quickly.
Yeah.
Plus a D8, is it?
D4 for guidance.
D4. 18 plus. Oh, no, 4. What's 18 plus 4? 22. 22.
22.
Just
Okay.
like is a liar on there, the sword, like all the majors, the
Yeah.
Tarthian Mask, the rare magic books or whatever.
The lyre is mentioned, and
okay.
the Ginault coin was reported missing from a dig nearby.
Oh, okay. Okay. That one needs to go back to the academy. Not the academy, the society. Did it say who owned the lyre?
No, it simply says that a person, an anonymous person said that a highly valuable lyre had been stolen from them. But this was, going by the date, probably a couple of years ago.
How would you return it to an anonymous
Yeah, if
anyway?
they're
Why would you not
anonymous.
put your name down if you've lost a thing?
Good question.
Strange.
Weird and dumb.
What about the coin? Who reported the coin missing?
That was the society, the local
That was the
branch.
society. Okay. Well, also, do we want to give them the coin?
I mean, yes, if it's a local branch, we can just take it back to the society, correct?
Well, yes, but we should still tell Captain Rowe.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, sure, why not? No reason not to. Is there anything else on the list? Was the mask on there, or any of the books, or nah?
No.
No.
That is the extent of things that you've seen at the house that are also on that list.
I mean, yeah, magic lie is a pretty big deal.
Well, I'm not
Strange.
convinced it is the same lyre. The note just says a valuable lyre.
True. How many?
Feel like
How
there's
many
a pun to be made here, but I can't think of it.
We'll circle back to it. How many expensive lyres can there be? I don't know anything about instruments.
Many, I'm sure.
It's
All right, we'll tell.
Yeah, the way it's written down, it could easily have been sort of somebody just yelling, so and so stole my, I guess I'll write it. I can write it down. Yeah, do that. You write it down. And, okay, who should? It doesn't matter. Okay, anonymous. But the Genolton coin is described in some detail, and it is exactly what you found.
Yeah, we will tell Elgard Captain
Cool.
about the coin.
Okay, in that case, Captain Rowe will say, well, so that certainly sounds like evidence of possession of stolen items. In which case, we are. I am within my power to lock down their home and do a more thorough search until we can find how these items. Find out how these items came into their possession, whether they were planted there, perhaps by this fixer gentleman. And otherwise, I might have to put Garthus Han up on charges, but we'll see. We've got a lot to do, a lot more to do.
Keep us informed.
Look,
not for any reason. I'm just curious.
Okay.
If we can help, do let us know.
I won't be coming to find you to update you if that's what you're asking.
That's fine. I'll hear it on the grapevine. Gossip travels fast.
In case you haven't heard, there's a masquerade ball coming up in a few days' time.
Yes, there is.
And it's been decided that there will be an accompanying street party that will fill the Crown Land and the gardens around the palace.
Oh, I love
Is this the first that Dagmar's heard about the masquerade? Have we told her? Yeah, it must be.
Probably is, yeah.
Yeah, we never really got around to talking about it.
Yeah.
She has a costume planned, but she has no idea what it's for.
And she says that, and while the Heron Guard will, of course, take care of security inside the palace, we are expected to take care of everything outside the palace, including the entire city, while probably half its population is carousing in the gardens.
They just dropped that on you, didn't they?
They did.
So is there there's the masquerade ball. Now is it a garden party, or is it just going to be out in the streets? Anyone can join in.
I believe they're sorting out the details, but my understanding is that it will begin as a garden party, which will then become the masquerade ball inside the palace, but only those who have been invited, or I heard there's going to be a lottery.
No, she did mention that, didn't she? Yes.
Yeah, so only people who have a ticket will be able to enter the palace from the garden. And
lovely.
At that point, those people will no longer be my problem.
Just everybody else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Including all of the people disappointed that they won't have won lottery tickets.
It's gonna get rowdy. It's gonna get rowdy out there.
Yeah. So I will need to get back to it.
Captain, just on the way out, did you have any thought for entertaining the disappointed people?
No, that is far from my job description.
True, but it may help with placating the disappointed lottery losers and what have you.
I dread to ask.
If they're busy with something, then
did you have something in mind?
Well, I happen to know a group who's a little bit further down towards, where are they, Rivermeet? They may be able to come up and perform out in the street or possibly in the theatre, if the theatre's available. They perform at a very
high-end establishment.
Very commoner level.
Yes.
And are able to entertain a large group of people very well.
I'll let you do that.
And she says, well, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. Might be a good way to keep people entertained, and probably good business for them if they're good performers.
Oh, they is.
That was my thought.
I can't.
With your permission, then, can I send them a message and invite them up?
Leave me out of it. Yeah, this is not my job. I am captain of the guard. I am not an organizer of public events.
Oh, we probably have to talk to what's his name, Domo. or something?
No, I don't imagine we would. There's no public ordinance we'd be breaking if we invited them up or anything like that, Captain.
No, the gardens will be open to everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you. Don't need to get a permit.
No.
None of that stuff.
Just don't
Wonderful.
break any laws in the process. Don't get anyone's in anyone's way. Don't be a public nuisance.
Wonderful. Excellent. Also, I may borrow you for a message later on then. Or a sending.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we probably shouldn't take up any more of your time.
Yes, I'll let you go.
Thank you. Do we know where the society is? We have a map, don't we?
I will say that Captain Rowe would like to hold on to the Ginault coin for now.
Oh, okay.
She says she's happy for it to be returned to the society eventually.
Oh, it's evidence,
Yeah,
right.
But
right.
for now, it is evidence.
Okay, that's fine. Never mind.
We have bags of it.
Okay.
I didn't know there was a dig site around here. Go figure.
So,
We should stop by at some point.
where are you all off to now?
How many days until the masquerade? 2 now? 1, 2, 3, 2, 3.
This is day 1. The
I can't do
masquerade
math.
ball will be on the evening of day 3.
Okay, so we still
We're
have
still
like
on
2
day
days.
1. This has been a really busy day.
No, because it was because when you got taken, that was when it was announced, and she said 3
Right.
days from then. So
Right. Yeah.
So yes, Dagmar, I'll spring that on you. There is going to be a masquerade ball.
Cool. What happens at those?
Have you never attended a ball before?
It's not really a thing. We have giant piss ups.
I see.
under-
Do you have dancing? Do you dance?
I don't know if people who dance would call it dancing, but yes, we have a version.
Oh my
Wonderful.
god.
Well, I guess we will have to teach you, and I assume Morzod,
Morsel, do you know how to dance?
how to dance.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things. How do you define your dancing? But look, I've held someone's hand and spun around a bit before.
Okay.
Nice.
Like formal structured dancing with a partner.
Oh,
look,
we don't do that.
Yeah. Don't dwarves have that one where everyone joins hands in a great big circle? No.
Yeah, no, most of ours involves it's good.
And you go this way and then you kick, and then you go that way and you kick.
There's a lot of kicking. There's a lot of like moving in circles. There's a lot of jumping, and then you sort of repeat it in different formations.
Oh,
Yeah.
like
while
in a pit?
shifting.
Like some sort of mosh in a pit?
Oh no, that's only at like
no.
fun events and concerts at like
Oh.
at
Yeah,
like a
no, the one
festival
with the
affair.
circles.
It's much more of the circling and the
It's,
jumping.
Right,
and
it's
the-
like
right.
dancing, but you can do it while you're shit-faced.
Yeah,
Yes.
you put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, you put your left foot in, and you shake it all
You're
about.
sometimes you're like holding hands, sometimes you're linking hands, sometimes you have your arms around the necks of the people on either side of you.
Yeah,
because you
and
can't
it goes
stand up
faster and
anymore.
faster. And
Oh,
you-
the great
yeah.
dwarven wizard hokey pokey, yes.
Yes, the Zorba, the Great
Yeah,
Zorba.
that one. I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Sometimes we'll just randomly pick other dwarves up and just sort of carry them for a bit. It is fun. I do
it's
think
a
it
good
would
time.
give Orsi a panic attack.
Yeah, I don't. No offense. I don't think I
Most
will be
of our-
any.
Yeah, most of my music
is
is. I mean, it's drums and.
You'd think I'd be more okay. Well, my mother specializes in humans and dwarves, right? She's a researcher, but she's never sat with me.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's fine.
It's
I'm
not
sure your music is very wholesome.
Mm-hmm.
a lot of strumming and harps.
You haven't.
It's like what you put on when you need to fall asleep.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't agree with that, but all right, fine.
So you've mentioned the dancing. You haven't mentioned the other part of the other thing you need for a masquerade ball.
And what, tickets and costumes?
Mask.
Tickets and costumes.
Costumes,
Yes,
masks.
we should costume.
I mean, I feel like
Oh,
Yeah,
it's masquerade. Is that
yeah,
like
you
the
wear-
proper word for mask?
right. I never finished my description, so I was gonna say imagine a ball that you've been to, but everyone's in a fancy costume, but not quite the same type that you've been to in that case.
Right. And when
So
you say
really-
costume,
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
You know, like dress up with the mask on and you be something else.
I'm going to glamour into something over the top, very sort of Venice.
Yeah, like that. Yeah,
Ball.
yeah.
Like this.
There you go.
Oh,
yeah,
you
like
look
that.
You know, mask.
You look like a
Big
funky
back
peacock.
piece.
Exactly.
Oh.
Everyone looks like funky peacoks. You hide your identity and you do
That's-
that.
That's
Oh,
big,
well, that
that's
sounds
big
fun.
fancy. That's big fancy.
What's that for then? Why is that happening?
It's the princess announced it.
Oh, which one is
Yes.
that again?
Her Royal Highness Princess Imrana Ras,
Imrana,
I
yes.
believe, got Jack of
Imrana?
the guys down at the theatre, and so has decided to throw her own party with masquerade and dancing.
Oh, so you guys went to a thing?
Well,
we did.
We did. We
We-
attended the theatre. We didn't know where you were, Dagmar.
we
Oh.
went and introduced ourselves to all the important people. And we thought, well, Dags don't want to do this anyway because she'll get noticed and she don't like that.
That's true.
And then it was another one of them going and seeing all the fancy people when we was going to the theatre.
You should have
and-
seen Morzor. It looked incredible.
I bet
I've
you did.
still got some bits of it on, but yeah, well, I took off the coat and everything. But I didn't like it. It misrepresented the goblinoids.
Oh.
Did not like the way that one was, but yeah, it was also real fancy and noticing and waving at people and stuff. So it was only after that we're like, oh yeah, but now that we've done all the things that Dags wouldn't like, where's Dags?
That's right. We got back to the hotel and we were like, oh, where's Dagmar? And then
I
And
do
then we-
you.
and then we
appreciate
come
that
and
you
find
did all
you.
the boring stuff before you came and rescued me. That was actually very
Oh,
considerate.
let me tell you about boring. I made us sit in a room
wasn't that boring?
for like all afternoon, and there was
enjoyed.
just like tapestry on the walls, and that was it. It was
I enjoyed it.
Quite entertaining.
I had a great time.
it went forever.
Oh, what? Did they fight? Was it like...
No, there was no fighting. It was all just waiting. And then after all the waiting, they said, well, no, actually, we're not going to talk to the people that you was waiting to talk to, so bugger off.
Oh.
Correct.
I mean, I guess being paralyzed for 12 hours was probably fine.
I mean, that's a bit like what we was doing anyway, so, you know.
We know exactly how you felt. We too have suffered.
I had a
Hey,
nice evening. I thought it was lovely.
at least you got to lie down for yours.
I
Well, I had
did.
fun.
My feet fell asleep, but you know.
That doesn't sound so good.
So,
Well,
where to from here?
yeah, where are
the-
we actually going as we talk?
All of Heron's Perch is
Are
open
we
to
heading
you.
back to the
The eternal
pub to-
question, isn't it?
Hang on, let me look at the map. Let me look at the map.
We're headed for
I
the
get it.
bath, aren't we? We're always headed for the bath. Bath or
Always
boat?
need a bath.
That's true. By default, to the bath.
To bath,
It's
to the bath.
always the pub or a hotel or a bath we're headed to.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
What time is it? Where are we?
Yeah, what time is it? That's a good question.
Standard Mozart questions.
Is it still like late in the evening or is it the next day?
It is.
No,
It's next day.
it's the next
yeah,
It's
day.
the next
That's
day.
it, that's it,
You
yeah.
slept because Fainothan would not. Yeah, they did not want to disturb the priest of Fainothan in the middle of the night, so you slept so that he could come in the morning
Right.
and do the truth test. So it is now about 10 in the morning. Actually, no,
in the
the
morning.
search of the mansion would have taken a little bit, so it's more like 11:30 in the morning.
Gonna
So
say.
You know,
you've-
I did.
Absolutely be lunchtime.
Unless well, I mean, we should go have lunch or brunch first.
Or
Obviously,
both?
we can have brunch and lunch at the same time. Sure, why not?
I did not eat for all of yesterday. I would like to.
Oh,
twice
you
as
haven't
much
eaten
Yes,
today.
we should get
Okay,
you fed.
so
then.
we're heading to a hotel to sit down, the pub to sit down and chat. I guess.
Yes, to the Grumpy Swallow, I guess. Yeah.
I did want to pop down to the docks to speak to the dock master, the harbour master. If
Oh, we
anyone else
could go
needs
down.
to-
We could go down and get more of that icy stuff.
Oh yes, the iced cream.
Hey, that.
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah,
yes.
Dags, you'd love it.
Explain.
Good stuff.
Oh, they have this enchanted rock that they keep cold.
And they put cream and such on it, and then they scoop it all up, and it's like you can eat it with a spoon.
Some sort of fish
Um,
person and a kenku run it, Baskin and Robin.
Oh, I would like to meet them.
Mm,
And
good
eat
sorts.
whatever they're
So would we.
selling.
Our DM, however, perhaps a little less enthused at playing Baskin and Robin.
I
No,
never
we're gonna
approved. I
force
don't
you.
think I ever approved this.
I love the Baskin and Robin.
We nearly invited them on our seance.
Oh, Dagmar, we had a seance and everything.
Oh, you
were
had a seance?
We did. We were doing the seance to try to find you in a roundabout way.
You thought I was dead?
No.
No, Vinny needed a boost. Vinny needed a boosty from
He needed his magic
the
ghosts to help find you or whatever it is.
friends.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So if you look
would
at
be
the map,
unfortunate if I was the dead one because I have the diamond.
you'll see that the harbour master is actually on the opposite side of the bay, of the cove,
Oh,
to
rip.
the docks, so to speak.
Oh.
Oh man,
No.
no, actually, instead of going to the pub, haven't we go down and get some whitebait and
Oh, fish and
ice
chips.
cream? Yeah.
Oh, you're right. 21, Harbour Master. 21. My zoom is out of control. It either zooms in all the way or zooms in all the way out.
Oh yeah, mine does similar.
That's inconvenient.
It's a very sensitive zoom.
Oh, it is. That's 20. Okay, there it is. Okay, I see now. There it
Tell
is.
you what,
Okay.
though, it's better than roll 20.
Right, yeah. Shall we get lunch at the docks then, and then go to the Harbour Master?
That sounds like a good idea.
Right.
Okay.
Unless I don't know, anyone has anything else they need to do.
I don't think we're good.
I do need to sort out. I mean, as officials, you two will be getting invitations to the masquerade. Well, of course, surely. Poor form not to invite you.
Who?
And wouldn't you be getting one
These
for
two.
being...
Who are you pointing at?
Viteric is the only two officials in our party, Dagmar.
Oh right. I'm the one who's not an official. Gotcha.
You're not an official, I'm not an official, but we're both nobles, so.
Right. We're sort of low-key famous.
No, we absolutely should be getting invitations. Again, poor form if we don't.
As you're walking around the docks with your iced creams, you
Yay.
see that posters are starting to be... Sorry, bills are starting to be posted about the
They won't be
masquerade,
prosecuted.
which is... and they're basically announcing what Captain Rowe alluded to, that the gardens and the Crown Land will be opened to the public, which is a bit odd because they're already open to the public. But apparently, this is what the princess has decreed, so you put it on the bill.
She just assumed that they weren't allowed.
Yeah, she's being very generous.
Wow.
Without
I'm
checking
letting
without checking the
you
facts
slubby
first.
plebs in.
Yeah, you can come on this public land, but only because I say so.
I have assumed you are all oppressed. Come in. Okay.
So yeah, the gardens, the botanic gardens and the Crown Lands will be opened to the public for revelry, leading and a masked carnival, leading into the masquerade ball at the Royal Palace in Heron's Perch. Attendance will require a ticket, and you'll either some will be invited, others maybe won via lottery. The lottery will be 1 gold piece per entry, unlimited number of entries per person, and the lottery will be drawn at dusk on the day of the ball, and basically the lottery will be drawn, and then all the winners will be allowed into the palace.
Wow, you just know some of those nobles are going to drop like 1,000 gold of entries. What a clever way to line their coffers.
Yeah, Aussie.
Aussie.
Yes.
Awesome.
I was thinking, if we have to do that for Dags, but
Absolutely not. We don't. Why wouldn't she get an invitation? She's an Aberforge.
I'll have Aussie give me a history check or an intelligence
Let's do
check,
it.
please. This is relevant to this discussion.
Intelligence or history? I mean,
I think history is intelligence based
History.
anyway, so just give me
yes, it is.
just give me history.
Yes, it is. 15.
15. Cool.
I have a +8.
So
Could've rolled higher.
assuming that Morzod and Vetericus get invitations, being dignitaries, you think it is standard
Oh, they get +1s.
+1s. Yeah.
That is what Morzod was just about to ask Ozzy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like he was just about to say, "Look here, do we get to bring a +1? Because that'd be real easy, and then we don't have to gamble on it."
Traditionally, yes, but I don't want to be a +1.
I would be honored to be a +1.
Yeah, I mean,
easier.
they
Well,
they
I'm
smi-
glad
they
for you,
they might invite you for being an Amber Forge anyway, but it depends on whether you want to present yourself as an Amber Forge.
No,
Yeah.
good point.
No,
Yeah, what's
I think
the
I'm
deal
ready
now?
to come out
Yeah.
as an Amber Forge. I think I'm
Are
fine.
you
On reflection, I think I've probably accidentally come out as an Amber Forge about 5,000
several
times.
times? Yep.
Yeah.
Several.
Certainly
Half of those were my fault. I apologize. I kept calling you Dagmar.
certainly the
I
captain
know,
of the
I
guard.
always answered.
Captain of the guard knows exactly who you are.
But you're safe now, so you can if you want.
Yes,
But if you
at least here.
don't want, then that's your choice.
Yeah, look,
It
on
is a
that,
masquerade ball. You will be disguised, at least physically.
Well, that's a
That's
good
true.
point. But aren't they going to sing out everyone's name? Isn't that what they do?
I think
Probably
that's
be
true.
presented, yes.
Oh,
Do
So, like-
since the portal thing is
The
open,
teleportation circle, yes.
do you think they do post?
Do you,
I
what
don't
do you
know.
mean?
Can you-
I mean,
you-
the post hasn't stopped. Do
yeah.
you mean
but
now
can
that
you
they...
can
Yeah,
you tele-
One day,
can you
what, one day
teleport-
shipping? What?
Can you
Yeah,
teleport
like-
a letter?
Like quicker, like safer post. Say if one wanted to send something care of the Queen of Grund.
I see what you're saying. I feel like you might need an accompanied courier for that.
Yeah, like do you think someone in the society would be up
Yeah,
for
you're
escorting
talking
an
about, like,
ancient dwarven crown to a dwarven queen?
Send in a fella.
You can ask. I mean, I don't know what the situation is who has authority to use a teleportation circle.
Yeah, I feel like it would need to be official.
It sounds like
Or-
you might
I mean,
need
there's
to go to
or
the
real
academy and
expensive.
ask.
Academy ask.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Some sort of chief librarian might be able to push it through.
Very
Yeah,
funny.
we could ask that new librarian. There's a new librarian
right.
here, isn't there?
There is.
Oh, is
That'd be
there?
Well, let's just go ask him.
Ah, I hadn't noticed.
Oh, why are you being
Good chance to
weird?
meet him.
Do you
What
want
do you
to
mean, why
get
am I
ano-
being weird?
Do you want to get another ice cream, Ozzy?
No, I don't want another ice cream.
Why is all you stressed? You love libraries. You couldn't wait to meet the head librarian in Providence. You were like a fan.
Were you not here? Were you gone when we figured all this out?
What are you?
You were here. You were here. You
I
weren't
was
here.
where?
Oh,
I got
okay.
kidnapped for a sizable portion of yesterday. What did you do?
I didn't do anything. My father's a new head librarian, isn't he? Yeah, not great.
Ozzy didn't have a
You're here?
Ozzy didn't have a good day yesterday. Just
It was a
in
bad
general.
day.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was at the theater we attended.
To rescue me from the guy who had me paralyzed and kept in a basement.
If anything, it was a wonderful distraction,
I'm glad.
as usually are. Thank goodness that Morzor is so large. He's so easy to hide behind.
Oh yeah, I do it constantly.
Oh,
At
simply
your
have to stand
service.
sideways. It's brilliant. It's like a big triangle. Anyway,
Okay, so
Harbour
do
Master?
you not want to ask the head librarian?
me personally, no. You can go and speak to him. I'm not.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I didn't mean that.
Yes, actually, it's probably not a bad idea given that we're sort of connected to the Providence Academy anyway. We should all go see the head librarian.
Yeah,
I'm
all,
gonna go and see
all
the
three
head
of us.
librarian.
Yes, all three of us.
He wants
that's all
to
right,
sit
you
it
can hang
out.
out.
Yeah,
Do what
we
you
can
want.
go.
Fine. Do what you want. I don't care.
Mention you.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Do what you want. Okay. Whatever.
We have official business. I have a very important artifact to return.
You do. You
to a
probably
queen.
should. You
I
probably
need it
should
to
let the
not
society
be
know.
intercepted.
You'd need to let someone know. Probably both the academy and the society might be a good idea. I assume we're walking to the Harbour Master.
Yeah, we're walking. This is all.
You definitely need to let someone know about that. You have it on you, right? You haven't lost it yet, have you?
Oh, you know, it's in the bag.
Okay.
Chilling.
Okay. Don't.
I just didn't want to give it to the guards. Then the guards would freak out. Then the guards would take care of it, and then I wouldn't be
It
able
is-
to put in like a little letter for the queen, being like, "Hey, lol, found your crown."
Yeah, I definitely don't think you should just put it in the post. That's probably not a great idea.
Exactly, but you know,
Yeah.
postage sort of
Courier.
courier. Yeah.
Courier service, yes.
Yeah.
I don't even know if where. I assume the other teleportation circle is in the proper
Taraz?
CrossFit Academy in Taraz. Yes,
That's not far.
from your hold, it's quite close, isn't it? Right,
It's like the next county?
next county over.
It's not very far on the map. My Stonehold is really close to where we left. It's really close to Port Farron.
Which is some distance, because the supercontinent of Gald it's a supercontinent, so it's very
It's
large.
very big.
Yeah.
It's very big. We did see that picture you did. It was quite large.
Yeah.
Sending it via teleport would be faster than putting it on the boat, which we have established.
Yes.
Is that
Well, my
risk of
point is,
sinking.
yes. I mean, boats do sink. You are right. I mean, sometimes you can. Oh, well, it's teleportation, so actually, it's quite safe, as far as I know. I don't know anything about teleportation.
I hear it's the
Anyway.
safest way to travel.
No. I mean,
really
yeah. Who knows? Maybe they might open teleportation circles in one of the holes.
Probably not.
Could happen. There's wizards down there, right? You've got magic users.
A couple.
Oh, look, you've arrived at the Harbour Master.
Ah, yay. See, you could have left us alone for 3 hours.
I know, I didn't want to.
It would end up with like, hey, let's pop over to Grund real quick.
Let's just go use the teleportation circle real quick, and then we end up in Tarth, and it's a whole thing.
5 months later, same
Yeah, we gotta-
conversation.
Go to Tarth Bucks, yeah. I'm pushing Tarth Bucks.
I love that so much. You said it earlier, and I was just like, "Oh
Well,
my god, that is
Tarth Bucks is
amazing
good.
and perfect."
So, Harbour Master's quarters. What are we looking at?
Yeah.
What are we doing here again?
It's basically a building facing onto the harbour, from which the Harbour Master can view the whole area, and basically there are flags and so forth that can be used to signal and communicate all around, and just keep everybody who's, including the both the fort and the gun batteries that are watching, and so it's basically the center of communications for this whole port.
My favorite ship flag is Z. I need a tug.
And
I like it when they do the things.
rather than role-playing out the whole conversation, what is Orsi inquiring about?
He's just asking when the dang boat's getting in.
Yep. So you will be informed that your friend is most likely going to be arriving on the ship called the Ginger Slipper, which
It's
it's
a great name.
schooner, packet ship, quite fast, and it's what's normally it regularly does the trip from Heron's Perch to Port Veron. No, sorry, Heron's Perch directly to Taras and back again, and it's normally used for expedited messages, packages, and VIP passengers as well. But it costs a bit, so it's not sort of it's not for low-paying passengers, which is why the four of you didn't take it when coming this way.
Yeah, cool.
We took the Schlebby ship.
Yeah, we had the galleon that took a year to get here.
The Kraken snack.
Aww.
The Kraken snack's a great name for a boat. Kraken snacker. Yeah.
Next time you see
Can we go back and buy that boat?
Butler?
Captain
I was going to
Swift.
say, we're going to
Yeah.
end up buying that boat, and
We're gonna
calling
get
it
that
the
boat.
Kraken snack.
We're going to call it Kraken snack. It's a great
Yes,
name.
and the Harbour Master explains that it is expected to arrive tomorrow, the next day.
So soon.
Because they have a weather mage on board who is able to communicate their progress.
Oh, nice. Such
That's what
amenities on this
Yeah, nice
boat.
when you can travel.
Yeah.
On
He's going to be extremely cantankerous when he gets off there, so. Idiot missed the portal.
Oh yeah, your dad would have been at home when he left, right?
I don't know if Cass told Dad he was leaving. I
Oh,
didn't.
that's awkward.
It's going to be bad.
Yeah, well, at least your parents didn't tell the whole frickin' world that you've lost your mind.
Yeah, no, good point. He's not great, but they also
They
didn't
just assume
send.
that he already know.
Yeah. Oh, that's even sadder. I'm disappointed in myself now. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to unpack that one later. Thanks, Smallsword.
Okay. Next. Where to next?
What were we talking about on the way here?
Have we lunchened?
I assume we lunched.
I mean, we got ice cream.
we got
got
ice
white
cream.
bait.
Yep.
For
Yeah,
the
That's true. We
entire
went down to the
time,
docks for lunch, didn't we?
yeah, for the entire time that the talking to the dockmaster happened, Morzod was in the background with a big bag of white bait, just munching.
I'm thinking, yeah, you've probably got like shish kebabs and things like that down
yeah.
at the docks.
I like to think Dags has a big paper bag of chips that just crinkles
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
so loud. Salt and
Absolutely.
vinegar.
Do agree.
Right. Well, what are we doing about? Well, Dagmar and Morzord. I assume
Yes.
we've left the harbour master now. We're just walking. We have to learn how to dance.
You got stunning views of the harbour from there, by the way.
No.
Oh,
beautiful.
look, thank you.
Right.
Gorgeous.
Can we roll a perception? Did we see anything interesting?
Yeah. Can we perceive?
Give me perception rolls, please.
Yeah.
13.
At disadvantage because white bait.
22.
Oh, nat 20. Great.
Okay.
Hey.
That's not bad. That's a 19.
Wow. Gorgeous harbour.
Morzod was
Beautiful.
looking out the window while he was munching.
Yeah, it is quite lovely.
Yeah,
Sadly,
yeah.
I don't have anything particular to reward that natural 20 with. It is just very pretty out there.
Can
That's
also
so
see
cool.
a lovely gull.
You're
Yeah, so I
very-
was going to say, can I see a bird? Maybe you'd like to describe a bird to me?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are gulls around
Bin
here.
chicken. Bin
Yeah.
chicken.
What else would you have at this latitude?
What,
Because
what is endemic to this area? What are we looking at here?
because it's further south than Sydney. You're getting into New Zealand. Oh, you know what? I'm giving you an albatross. Do you see an albatross?
Yes.
Oh, sick. That's good luck. That's great.
Yeah, I was going to say that's auspicious. That is.
That's also. That's
You're
right.
also
That's
noticing
suspicious.
it's
What's
as you're walking around. You're all noticing it's a bit cool today.
It's a bit
Feels
brisk.
like autumn might be coming a bit early to
Oof.
Heron's Birch.
Chilly.
It's cold above the ground.
Is it not cold underground?
No.
Oh.
Well, no, he's stay warm because you got all the rocks. They don't change their temperature real fast.
The insulation is immaculate.
Oh, I always assumed caves were dank and damp.
Well,
I mean, I guess if it's
caves.
already wet and cold, then it's staying wet and cold, right?
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I-
the
no
general approach
experience.
to the architecture is that it not be dark or dank.
In fact,
Right.
Well lit.
the biggest challenges that the Stoneholds face is actually exhausting of the fumes and the heat from the forges that are down there.
Oh,
Oh, you do have a lot of forges down there, don't you?
so toasty.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I know you don't want to go back down there, but I would love to see a dwarven hold.
I would love to take you on a brief visit with a
Well, we can
defined
sort-
exit point.
We can. Oh, I see what you're saying. Right? Yeah. Make sure. Well, we can go to a not where you're
We
from
go to a
hold,
different
right?
one.
We can go to a
right?
different hold.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been to Elven Citadel?
Literally never. I assume it's
busked
made of
outside
very
one once.
delicate glass.
Sure. You busked outside of one.
Yeah. I performed outside, like at the main gate of one for a while. They didn't actually let me in, interestingly, but that's fine.
Oh, no. What were you wearing?
I don't know, what was I wearing when we met?
I'm not like slut shaming you or anything, but like,
Actually, no, you are probably wearing too much. I hear elves really love an exposed
Probably.
midriff.
That does seem to be the case.
I mean, it's temperature controlled in there. 20 degrees all the time. We should visit an Elven Citadel. Oh, we should, on the way back, I don't know what we're doing, but on the way back, I would like to go to the volcano and we should go to Rivermead again. I want to see what's in that rock.
Do we have you thought of a way to open the rock?
I have. Kind of.
Does it involve a grenade?
It doesn't.
Oh.
Sorry? Is that bad?
Go on.
Didn't
Okay.
we decide we was probably not blowing up the landmark?
I
we
mean,
shouldn't blow up the
the
landmark.
consensus was we're not going to blow up the landmark.
Look, we can. It's not off the list.
It
all right,
wasn't a
Dagmar, I
unanimous
promise.
vote.
Okay, look, I promise. It's still on the list. Well, that lyre, right? That lyre that we found. I mean, confiscated. We didn't steal
Yes, that's
The
right. Yes,
research liar.
Yes.
that we have taken to assess.
Well, it's a magic liar. It can cast spells.
Is there a
Yes.
spell that can open a rock without destroying the rock?
Yes, there is, Dagmar.
Oh, well, that's quite useful.
I
and
probably could have.
specific.
I could have learnt the spell for it and bought the scroll, but I didn't want to. You know.
Mm. Well,
Whatever
yeah.
it
How
is.
would you afford it?
Dagmar. And more money than you, so.
You don't.
Yes, I do. Okay. Well, anyway, we should do that on the way back, but I digress. Circling all the way back around, you two have to learn how to dance before the ball.
Yes.
Right. Is dancing required?
Yes.
Well, yes, but if you don't want to learn how to dance too much, we could just teach you to be following partners instead of leading partners.
I will say, I don't know whether this is going to in any way change what Orsi answers, but dancing is not required. But if you want to be noticed, then you will dance.
He's not changing his answer. It's required as far as he's concerned.
That's what I thought.
Yes. And Ptericus is
assume
like, why would I go to an
video
event and
is
not
the
be
same
noticed?
mind.
Yeah.
Besides, if you dance, it's how you get all the good gossip.
If you're going to be
Gossip.
involved in high society, you must dance.
You gotta dance.
Okay. Where do we learn to do this then?
We can teach you. We just need a slightly open space.
I mean,
Also, you'd be eating a lot of white bait there, buddy.
And you say this as you're walking past the Crownlands, big open green spaces.
Look at that. Big open green space.
Oh, cool.
so soon.
Well,
Eats chip.
yeah. I like that. Oh, okay. Well, you guys definitely need to wipe your hands before we dance, because I'm not touching you with salt and vinegar white bait hands.
Now I'm just imagining that doing that thing. You know when they taught you to do the barn dance in high school or whatever, in primary school,
God.
but then you wouldn't actually touch the other person. You just do
It was
like
like
the Keanu
floating.
Reeves, hand hover.
No, is that what you did?
Well, because
Yeah,
they made you do the
That's
barn
awesome.
dance, but you were at the age where boys were icky,
Yeah, boys are
So-
pretty cooties. Yeah.
Or is it
so
always
you didn't
icky?
want to.
Always
You didn't want
always
to.
icky.
You didn't want to touch them. So the teachers were like, "Yeah, now do the waltz hold," and so you're there doing the Keanu hand
Huh.
float
Mm.
and doing
know,
the
absolutely.
I
dance
went to
thing
an
that they
I went
want
to
you
an
do.
Irish school. They taught us how to river dance.
Okay, see, that's awesome. That's awesome. We learned
See-
the bus stop and the barn dance.
See,
Oh my
from
God.
my side, it's not because girls are icky. It's because I don't think I'm meant to touch girls. That's not a right thing
Yeah.
for a boy to do.
Yeah,
No one touch
as
anyone.
well.
Everyone's gross.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or
Yeah.
just Irish river dance instead. No, you just.
This is what we should all dance like in Jane Austen, where they just sort of make weird eye contact while swirling across the
Yes.
room from each other.
I mean,
a
that's-
nice nut bush
And
instead.
a lot of
It's a very COVID-friendly dance.
I mean,
It is, it is.
the eye contact and swirling thing is kind of the dancing that they'd be doing with the
Yep.
if you want to be seen one, because the whole idea of that era of dancing was see what everyone's wearing.
Yep, and
Doing
that's
little-
basically
little
what will
hand
be at the
touch and
ball.
turn.
Which
yeah,
also
that
will know.
thing.
There will be the occasional, at most you will
Hand
touch
Yeah,
hands.
the hand touch.
Hand,
Yeah.
hand touch and bow, and then
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
go out, and then you go in, and then you shake it all about, and yeah.
Fabulous.
Um,
So there would not be an issue if, say, a dwarf had to dance with someone who was larger than a dwarf.
No,
Oh, of course not.
no,
Of
there
course
are
not.
No.
allowances in the choreography for all of these dances that take that into account.
A lot of
Very
those
good.
standard dances, the size doesn't really matter. It's really just the waltzing and stuff that's a little more intimate, but you don't need to do that.
Excellent.
Although, if you'd like to, I can teach you to do that too.
Sure, we can learn how to waltz, absolutely.
I assume, David, by the way, just as a general society thing, we're reasonably fluid on who leads and who follows. It doesn't have to be men lead,
It's just
girls follow.
whoever. Yeah.
Orsi and
It's not like-
Vatericus would be, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I
it's
guess
more
the-
like the
at the
men
ball,
don't
right?
lead and the women don't follow. Like it's
yeah, like if
whoever
I teach
leads.
Morzod to follow, that's not going to cause issues at
No,
the dance.
Yeah.
no, there will be
Cool.
no problems.
Cool.
It's generally because the dances aren't generally improvised; they are known. It
Yeah.
doesn't really matter who leads.
Yes.
All right. Well, who's teaching who?
Well, we're going to have to teach the handoff anyway, so
We're all in
you
it
and I will
together.
form one line, and Orsi and Dagmar will form the other, and... Sorry, Morzod and Dagmar will form the other. I remember your names, I promise.
That's
He's not even drunk yet.
And we will take you through some basic dances.
Okay. This is definitely the most important thing that you could be doing right now.
Roll
Good
to dance.
thing
There's gods in lakes with names unknown and red blood weed spreading across the continent, but we have to learn to do the dancing.
So,
Is dancing an acrobatics check?
It
Are you
was
gonna
when we
do a,
did.
are you gonna do a
was
flip?
when we did it
Performance,
in-
please.
It was when we did it in Starfinder, and that was pretty cool because we impressed a game show host
Hang on.
by.
I feel
Really
like
performance.
I'm clicking acrobatics.
I feel
when you're
like it's
trying
one
to
of
run
those-
across a sheet of ice, balance on a tightrope, or stay upright during a rocking ship deck. That's not crazy.
Performance
Like
literally
dancing.
says dance. Delight an audience with music, dance, acting, storytelling, or some other form
Okay,
of
well,
entertainment.
there you go.
Yeah.
I
I was
I-
trying to advocate for you, but
I
was gonna
think
say,
it
yeah,
is.
look, there's a real difference between Daggers is gonna be real good at dancing or Daggers is gonna be real bad at dancing.
I think
she's a noble, surely.
it is possible to use acrobatics in a performative way, but that is not what this kind of dancing entails.
Excellent. We're going from a plus 12 to a plus 1.
I have a +0 in performance. Like, come on. Surely I get advantage being a noble, right?
I've got a +7 on performance.
Come on.
I will
Right.
say you're.
Of course, Mozart's gonna be good at
Are
dancing.
you proficient
He's so
in
handsome.
performance?
Am I proficient in... No. I'm
I will
proficient
say
in...
I will let you
um,
use your proficiency bonus because this is a very noble Orsi thing to be doing.
Okay, cool.
So
You
I'll
could do
get.
it. You could do it as a history.
Alright, history check chance. Yeah.
No, you can't. I'll get Orsi and Vitericus first. Please give me your performance rolls.
Come on, dice. Oh,
21.
okay. 12,
Hey.
30. Hang on, I gotta do math. 12, 30, 40, 50, 16. That's pretty good.
Okay. Now, can I get performance rolls from Dagmar and Morzod?
6.
Oof.
It's the first time.
Total of 20. Flattered though.
Okay.
Of course.
Wasn't so elegant.
Mozart would be the most dashing and
Oh,
in
100%.
demand man at like a Jane Austen ball.
Yeah. V-cut.
He'd be like a Bingley who looks like a Darcy.
I understand that reference.
I didn't. That's usually it's me cracking the ungettable references, but
It's the highest compliment.
Yeah, Morzod, you pick it up very quickly. It almost comes naturally to you.
it's a form of partying.
It is more though. You're very elegant.
I
Dagmar,
don't think I've ever been accused of that, but all right.
Wasn't an
Kindman,
accusation.
what does a 6 look like on Dagmar learning to dance?
Zorba, that's what it looks like.
Dagmar basically forgets every piece of choreography the second it gets told to her. So she's basically like she'll get shown the routine and then that will start and she will have no memory of the routine. So she will be several beats behind everyone else and basically just watching and copying and kind of like,
Cool.
and nothing is graceful whatsoever.
I was going to say stomping feet. Are you
And
across from
stomping
Orsi?
feet. In times of stress, she will resort to foot stomping because that's what she knows.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe we'll be able to...
Ozzy's trying to waltz, and Dags is trying to Zorba, and
Yeah, it's not great. She's gonna step on his boots and he's gonna be angry.
So
Wait, what thing are we doing? Like a
No, it's like the show.
two-line-
It's like the show dance,
show
the
dance.
swirling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's it? It begins with a P.
The promenade. No, that's
No,
walking.
it's like a Pavel or something.
Like that scene in Van Helsing when all the vampires are dancing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
so
I don't
the
remember anything
Bridgerton
from Van
also good
Helsing
for
except
reference.
the abs and
It's just a
the.
good reference all the time.
Okay.
So the result of this training session is that Morzod, when if you choose to dance at the Masquerade Ball, you will have advantage on it.
Hey!
Woo!
And Dagmar, you will not.
That seems fine.
Man, I'm worried. I got a +0. Well, +4 because the DM's kind.
So you've had your lunch. It is now getting on to early afternoon. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon.
Do we need to go shopping?
Do we have like health potions and stuff? How is everyone looking on like health potions and stuff?
I still have all my health potions because I've never used them.
You should really start using those, Dagmar.
I have never had a need. Because I
apparently still have a
have
potion now.
91
Yeah.
hit points.
Usually it's Vidi that needs the.
Yeah, I basically keep health potions to throw to you idiots in case you die. Oh, maybe
You
I
got
did
me
use
there.
them. I don't think I've got any left in my inventory. Oh, I know, I've
do
got
you-
potion of healing. Yeah, there it is.
Do you have the Kylie in your inventory?
Not in mine.
Botaricus?
I do not, but I will add Kylie.
Do you want to pop that in there? Yeah, I just put it in mine so I didn't forget. Just going through. Do we need anything real quick?
God, I have so much cool shit hiding in my pockets. Got a
Oh,
fishing
shit.
pole in here.
And you do have the vision pole. You also have the broom. Don't forget. You also have
Oh
the
yeah,
broom.
no, I have the broom.
Got the broom. Okay,
Aussie.
I've got a whole lot of glue.
If you
Yes,
inquire
Morgan.
about town, you will learn that there is both a magic shop and an alchemist, with potion shop.
Oh, we
and-
still have our fun potions from what's his
Ew.
mate?
No.
and
Oh my god,
both,
we should drink them before the ball.
both
No,
those
no,
shops
just take
are
them
near
alcohol and
the
take them with us and spike someone.
We should
both those shops are
pregame.
near the academy in Heron's Perch, and they have a license to sell buy and sell all kinds of magical items.
Okay, look, I do want to go to the magic shop, but I'm not going anywhere near that academy. If you want to go in and ask about your teleportation circle to the queen or whatever it is you wanted to do, you're welcome to.
Yeah, I mean, if you think the academy is a better place to go than the society, they do seem better funded.
I mean, the academy is where the teleportation circle is. So
Right, also that.
The society don't believe in actually making any gold on anything ever, so they're
Okay.
always going to be somewhat perpetually broke.
Oh, is that why all the rich kids work there?
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't follow, but fine. To the magic shop. So was that a? Well, I guess we're going to go over there anyway. So if we need to grab any potions, I
Okay.
wouldn't mind looking at some spell scrolls too while we're there.
The magic shop is called Vicore's Emporium of Wonders.
Ooh, Vicore.
And as you
See.
step inside, it is a dark, sort of musty space, but there is coloured lighting, basically like permanent dancing lights in purples and reds, just slowly twirling around the ceiling.
RGB, it's the future.
Beautiful. LEDs, yep.
And a drow, a dark elf.
Under every desk, there's a strip.
Yeah.
A dark elf woman with long braided silver hair, and wearing what are obviously wizard robes. Sees the four of you come in, and,
Ah, so
says,
she's got huge cleavage going on.
and she says, "Yes, hello, welcome to my emporium. Are you here to buy or to sell?"
Potentially both.
I see. Well, you are welcome to browse. If you see anything you like, just let me know. If you're looking to sell, I am currently interested in magical artifacts, scrolls if you have any. But depending on the nature of the artifact, I may need to have the transaction approved by the academy.
Okay. All right. So what do we see?
Okay, I'm going to...
I still have those Tarthian wizard books. Does that count as
Ooh,
scrolls?
bunch of spell books.
I got a bunch of spell books.
Definitely flog those.
So I've put in a list
Ooh.
of various items. You can
One-
also get...
Game changing.
You can also get all of your spell components here, including the costly ones like diamonds. Not that you need them today. Anything which is hard to find, they will have at least one of in this shop. And there are
at the
also,
very least, go on.
There are also lots of scrolls here. Basically,
they're expensive.
I have a list of scrolls that they do have.
Yeah.
That they definitely have. And anything not on my list, ask, and I'll roll to see whether they have it.
Okay. What have they got in stock? Also, what is that bronze griffin? I'm sure we all would like to know.
That
I feel like
I believe that's a wondrous figurine.
Okay. Another one for us to throw at things.
I was going to say, Pokemans. Let's go.
Dagmar has definitely just started staring at whatever this blue sapphire is.
Mozart's keeping his hands in his pockets.
Let's have a look.
Yep, the bronze griffin. It's the statuette of a griffin rampant. It can become a griffin for up to 6 hours.
Yes.
And as with the other wondrous figurines, it will obey your spoken commands. If the creature, if you issue no commands, the creature will defend itself but take no other actions.
Ooh,
I'm just reading this.
Cooldown on the griffin.
What was that?
5-day cooldown on the griffin, so we can't just throw it the same way that we throw away.
We did the throwaway. Yeah. The throwaway is period, clearly.
The throwaway's got a fairly long cooldown too. I think it's like a week.
Does she? We don't use it very often.
We've only thrown her twice.
3.
Yeah, there was.
I put her in the toad's mouth.
Yeah, the
in the
frog.
championship fight. I threw her at the hag.
Oh,
and then I also threw her at the wizard too. Yeah. 3 times.
Which is why
and then
Queen was like, "I think you're abusing."
No, we rode her one time.
We rode her and then we threw her in the frog.
Yeah.
Okay, the sapphire,
fine, yeah.
the elemental gem, lets you summon a air elemental.
Yo, more Pokemons.
I was like, look, I don't want to buy it, but I am looking at it and I am appreciating it. It's a lovely cut.
How much is the haste spell scroll? Dungeon Master here.
Haste. There's no price listed there?
Or am I stupid?
400.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, there are 2 lists that I never got around to merging for the scrolls.
Very tempting.
So those are all the ones that they definitely have, but if you're looking for any other scroll, just name it and I'll tell you if they have it.
Pretty Gucci on spells. Yeah, I feel like everything I'm after is a high level anyway, so I'll probably come back here in like 2 levels time and need like 10 things.
While Orsi is perusing spell scrolls, I think I will sidle up and talk to Vikore in Undercommon, if she speaks it, and say, excuse me, I'm looking for something that you may be able to help with.
And she says, she responds in Undercommon, something other than magical items?
No, just a very specific magical item. You wouldn't happen to have anything enchanted with thaumaturgy, would you? A ring or a necklace?
And she says, you mean that can grant the cantrip?
Yes, ideally.
I see. Let me see. I might have something out the back. Let me take a look.
Thank you.
David's going to do a roll to determine whether there's something out the back.
Exciting. I assume I can't persuade things to be out the back.
No.
That's a shame.
After a few minutes, she emerges. She has brought something with her. Let me just find out whether D&D Beyond has something with that property or whether I'm going to have to homebrew something. Doug, I don't suppose you already have an item in mind, do you?
I don't. I literally just wanted something that has the Thaumaturgy cantrip attached.
Okay, attached spells.
That should be pretty easy, yeah.
I can search by... Okay, D&D Beyond, show me magic items with... Oh, there's nothing.
Yeah, I don't think it's common for cantrips to be...
I mean, that's pretty powerful, but if it requires attunement, that's a fair trade-off, I think. All right. Let's say, yes, she comes back with a ring, and she says, yes, this is, we recently had this come in. This will allow the wearer to cast Thaumaturgy at will.
Will in specific, like...
Thank you, Morzod. Any particular attachments to it? Does it require sort of a certain amount of, I don't know, attunement? And what's the gold cost, I guess, is the other question.
She says it will require attunement, I assume. And okay, let's see if there are any that have prestidigitation. No, there are not.
Items that grant cantrips. Yeah, not really. That's okay.
Yeah. No. Let's say if it grants you a cantrip, that's probably going to be in the range of about 200 gold pieces.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, I will take it. Thank you.
Okay.
And I will just add a generic one into my inventory for now.
Holy shit, he didn't even video it.
Didn't even haggle, yeah. You know, he really wants it. Arcane Eye, potentially, if they have the Arcane Eye roll.
Okay. What
I'm always on the fence about Arcane Eye because it feels too OP, but it would be nice to have instead of making glow do everything.
Okay, that's a level 4 spell, so I shall do a little roll.
I'll change it.
No. She says, sadly we do not have that in stock.
That's fine. I'm always on the fence about it anyway.
So basically, what I'm doing is whatever level the spell is, it's that plus 10 is the DC that I have to roll on a D20 to see whether it's in stock. And I roll a 12.
Oh, so close. That's okay. Like I said, I'm always 6 of one, half a dozen of the other about it anyway. Well, I'm good. Has anyone else got anything they're interested in? No?
No.
No.
I find magic shops not that exciting, to be honest.
They had a nice rock, though. You can look
They have
at
a beautiful rock. Enjoying this rock.
Look what happened
you
last time
It's a
you
nice
went to the
rock.
Fletcher. You got kidnapped.
That's true.
Mhm.
You know, though, if you put like a nice little candle, a sort of downward lit candle above this sapphire, you'd really
A
show it off
downward-
better.
A downward lit candle.
Do you not have those? Oh, we have them back at my parents' house, like above any jewel. I guess that's the magic we have there. It's these
There you
beautiful.
go.
We call them downlights. And
Ambience.
we just position them above all of the jewelry, and it just
Beautiful.
glitters. It's stunning.
You're
Love
suddenly,
that.
And then you wear it out, and it never
suddenly
looks as good.
interrupted as someone bursts into the shop. There appeared to be a noble woman, very finely dressed. And as soon as she steps in, she looks around she's human. She looks around with a look of mild disgust, and then sees Victoria and says, you there, Drow, I need a magical outfit for the masquerade ball. I will pay anything.
So it begins.
And
Speaking of which, Hilsey, I was going to say I got no idea about this thing, and I'm probably just going to need your help because Vinny can
Absolutely.
he fancied himself up just like that, and I mean, Dag's Dags can do that now, I think, but I've
Victoria says,
I got no
"Yes,
idea.
I'll be with you in a moment. I'm just attending to these customers. They can wait. I will pay whatever it takes."
Excuse you? You can wait for us to finish. How rude.
Very.
And she says, "What will it take to have you leave?"
I mean, you could pay us to skip the queue.
Bossy's just looking at Batericus like, whatever, man, this isn't my battle.
Sorry,
No?
what was your name again, my lady?
And she says, "What is it to you?"
Well, it is helpful to know who we're speaking to before we make any kind of deal. Good business sense.
He says, "Oh, you're one of those. Well," and she turns back to Victoria and says, "Can you make magical outfits?" And she says, "Yes, I can. It will cost a great deal if you want it in 3 days' time." She says, 2 days' time, or 1 day, in fact, I need to make sure it fits and meets my standards. And Victoria says, "Yeah, I can do that. It will not be cheap." And Victoria looks at you, Orsi, and actually gives you a wink. You think she's saying, "I'm going to charge so much for this."
Yeah! Get her!
Get it.
And,
Gouge
Do
her!
it, girl.
and the noble says, well, we must start then. Here, I've drawn what I think it should look like. And
Oh, did we get a peek?
are you going
We're
to
looking.
try, are you going
Glow
to try and
look?
get a peek?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
give
wanna
me
go.
a perception
What's she looking?
from Glow.
She's got super dark vision. She has advantage. She got a +3. That's 16. It's pretty good.
16.
Dagmar, was Dagmar trying to get a peek too?
Dagmar is definitely trying to get a peek.
What's Dagmar's roll?
23.
23, okay.
Ooh, hell
She
yeah!
must be angling it slightly down.
Yeah,
Got the eagle eyes.
somehow
Yeah.
Dagmar sees it and Glow does not.
Lots of
Yeah.
sparkly things in here. It's
Definitely doing a
distracting.
downward angle.
Now you noticed a mirror on the ceiling.
It is not spectacularly well drawn.
Yeah.
This woman is not an artist by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a drawing of... there we go. It is a drawing of somebody who basically is just covered completely in flowers.
Right.
Mostly
She's gone
roses,
midsummer.
just roses,
Mm.
roses, roses, roses. And it looked like the kind of thing that, you could theoretically craft it physically, but that would be an incredible amount of work for a very short period of time, especially if they're living flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
As soon as the noblewoman's back is turned and she's not paying attention to me anymore, I'm going to use my glamoured armor to go back to Carnival of Venice full regalia.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say, "Thank you for your time, Victoria. We will doubtless be back later, my lady," with a deep bow.
Victoria stifles a laugh as
I like her.
she sees you, but the noble doesn't even turn to look at you. She just waves you
Oh,
away.
rip.
Oh,
What a rude.
It's more for Victoria's benefit than hers, so that's all right.
They're all like this. Don't worry about it.
Mhm.
As you're leaving, Victoria says, "Thank you for your custom. I hope to see you again."
Doubtless.
Ding, 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 ding.
More's
That's us leaving this still.
trying not to get a face full of vitty feathers.
It's all right. They're not real feathers. But yes,
Oh,
you are
what?
correct, Morzord.
Dagmar is going to turn her leather armor into a tiny version of Vatericus's so we match.
Oh, aren't you cute?
Oh, this works. This is cool.
Like
Right?
daddy bird and a baby bird. So cute.
I've never done this before. I've just been keeping it as it is.
Well, you don't want to show too many people. You want to save it. I don't know what you're going to do for the ball, but you're going to save it.
Oh,
Oh
not
yeah,
this.
no, not this. I have other things
Oh,
in mind.
good.
I
Just
want to
across,
be less fluffy and more sparkly.
just across the
I
road
like it.
from the magic shop, there is tinctures, tonics, and potions. The potion shop.
Do we need any potions?
I feel like some of you should get potions.
I feel like we should maybe just get like 1 or 2.
Just stock up.
I have
Dude,
one.
just keep happening.
I have 1 supreme healing and 1 greater.
I have one like basic ass healing potion that we got in like episode 3.
Ethan gave us here or whatever.
Dagmar,
Probably
I'm going
feels
to
like 2 points.
give you this one, which is a potion of greater healing that I have had for forever because I keep being unconscious when I actually need it.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah. And then I
Yeah.
can give it to you.
Give
if
it
you're
to
unconscious.
Vatericus. Yes.
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 That is so smart.
That is a good idea. Actually, Morzor, what have you got in your possession?
Oh, that's a good question.
I feel like maybe you should hang on to the supreme if you don't have one already. Because you are quite. You've been hitting things quite hard lately, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, you've
Yeah,
really gone
I'm-
into attack mode.
Yeah.
I've been sort of trying out some different ideas and such.
That's great. You've been doing
working f-
very well.
Working for you, whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah, look, let me shuffle through here. Look, I've got one of them normal potions, but I don't have anything real fancy. Just the one.
Right. Well, you take this. I'm going to give Morzor the supreme healing potion.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's you're giving me greater healing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm feeling greater.
So supreme to Morzor, and I'm going to hang on to my greater. So I'm going to put that as 0. Right, now, again, with costumes.
How do I find it? Good me.
Oh, yeah, go to...
Manage inventory on the right-hand
Yeah.
side of your inventory tab.
Inventory manage. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then when in the filter, you just type in what you're looking for. It'll be potion of healing, brackets, superior.
Oh, not
Potions-
supreme.
Healing, supreme, not superior, supreme.
Sorry, supreme.
Yeah. Potions are a little bit weird in D&D Beyond. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
put in
don't-
healing and then the list comes up.
Okay.
Yeah,
healing.
they're a bit of a...
If
I
you
don't know
try
why
and
it's so
add the
hard.
qualifiers, they're all like, nope, you didn't
Potion
put it in
of
exactly
healing
as it's written.
supreme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Supreme. Yep, the purple one.
Add to Equipment. There it
Yeah.
is. Okay, cool.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Right, we're probably going to have to make some outfits, Morzord.
Oh, I mean, I'll help if I can, but I don't know much about this. It's like with the, ministry stuff. I'll just let you do that.
Well, it's all tactile, isn't it? You know how to sew, don't you? I've seen you stitch wounds. It's basically
I
the same
mean-
thing.
Is it?
Oh,
Does
just instead of flesh, it's fabric.
Oh, I've never
If
really
anything,
tried
it's
that.
easier.
Yeah, it's less resistance. I've never done stitches before.
No bleeding.
It's
I was
fidgeting as well.
gonna say probably the thing you stitching up isn't screaming.
I mean, generally, I don't know what you're going to
Shouldn't.
dress up as.
I hope nothing that you're dressing up as requires stitches instead of sewing. It could, though. It's up to you.
I mean,
But
I
anyway.
You should go full orc, Morzod. You should
Well,
go-
I have some ideas. Perhaps we should go to a
Oh,
fabric store and we can get some bolts and then we can sit down for the next 2 nights and make little outfits.
I just don't really know much about dressing up.
No, I can show you, it's easy.
Only really what I've done is, when I had to wear the things for looking official and such.
You have been a peach for allowing me to put you in little outfits and parade you around like a little show pony.
I'm not sure I like that description, but
But I think by this point, I have more of an idea of what you'd like to wear. So just trust me.
all right, I'll trust you, Ozzy. I'll do.
Perfect. Horses already
I
got,
need
like-
to look at pictures of what this stuff is so that I can come up with my own.
I mean, I have some ideas for all of you, actually, if you don't.
Vinny seems to know a bit about it.
So,
Have
yes,
have
I
you done one
can-
of these before, Vinny?
So, could I clarify at this point? Are you going into the potion shop?
Oh, sorry. Do you want to go into the potion shop?
50 feet behind us.
All of us have ADHD. We do apologize.
We walked out, saw the potion shop, swapped potions, and kept going.
Yeah, we remembered that we also had potions.
Yeah.
We
Swapped those.
redistributed potions.
Redistributed
because
the
we're
wealth.
good like that.
So
we're
that's a
good
no.
little
There was no
socialists.
incorrect answer to this. I would just like
I
an
like
answer.
we still haven't answered your question. I'm sorry. Well, maybe
Anyone need
skip the
any?
potion.
I don't think I need
Oxford
any.
Dictionary defines potions as...
I think we're fine for potions. Is there a fabric store we can visit? Look, are you guys going to go to the academy or not? We're already here.
Oh, are we at the academy?
Yeah, it's
It's not far.
these shops are basically in the shadow of this hill, which has a very obviously a tall wizard tower and a building next to it, which resembles very much the Coruscant Academy in Providence. They're perhaps a little smaller.
Amazing. Let's go in.
I'm so torn. I want to go look at the academy, but I don't want to go to the academy.
You don't have to go into the room where your dad is.
It's true. I don't know where he is. He could be anywhere.
I mean, and knowing you, he's in the library.
Hang on. Let me.
I don't know. Maybe
Would
he's
you
one
like
of
me
those.
to find out where he is for you?
Not for me. You can find out where he is for you, and then you can let me know, and then I'll just avoid it.
Of course.
I
Why
think
don't
that's-
I
I think
figure out
that's
where
what
he
you
is
meant.
so we can go and have a chat?
'Cause I would like to go to the library.
Locate creature, Oscar Lichtenbronn.
Oh, so we need to
Mm.
distract him somehow.
I don't
do
think you
that.
need to distract him. He'll trust me. He'll ignore you if you just leave him alone.
Well, definitely.
No, but if
distracted,
you
'cause we have
if
have
you
a
want
chat
to go
him.
to if you want to go to the library, but you don't.
It's not
going to
happen because I'm a wizard and I go to the academy and they're gonna like log me and then he.
And we are back after taking a unscheduled break due to the internet, well, due to my internet. NBN, if there's anybody from the NBN watching this, you're telling
Help.
me my internet has to drop out 5 times in one day for you to actually think it's a problem? That's ridiculous. I just lost about 15, 20 minutes of tonight's show because, anyway, we are back. And we're all talking about searching for Oscar in the Coruscant Academy. Vatericus had just cast Locate Creature, and that's right, I was actually going to check to see.
That's it. That's all we were doing.
Yeah.
And then we got the
distracted again.
screenshot of you that looked like you were disappointed in us.
You looked like you were reconsidering.
Looked like you were really done. We need a server for screenshots, I think.
Just double checking. Yep, there's no save
It's like-
associated with Locate, is there?
It always takes us a
No.
while to notice that you've frozen because you always freeze in like either a like some sort of position of oh god
or like you've died.
or died.
Oh, yeah, last time we did this.
Okay, so Vatericus with Locate Creature, you will determine that Oscar is inside the long square, rectangular building of the Coruscant Academy. You've not been in there, so you don't know exactly what room that would mean, but you've got a pretty good sense of where he is in relation to where you are.
Wonderful. Also, he's in the shorter building, so when we
Probably
get
the
in-
library where he works, right?
most likely. But when we get in, we can absolutely just put you in a different room, right? Turn left instead of right, or whatever.
We could put a lamp on your head and you could pretend to be a lampshade.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
That would fool a very powerful wizard, right?
I still have
Yeah.
the Alkanost right outfit. We can dress you up as Alkanost. You can shuffle around.
You not wearing that? Do you clean those, by the way?
Do I clean those?
I don't like how long.
I'm sure I've jumped in a river at
least.
least once with them on my person.
No, I'm not wearing your creepy, scratchy wool lawyer outfit. No.
Yeah.
Come on. Do it. Let's go.
Oh yes.
Wait, why do we need to talk to Oscar specifically? Don't we need
We
to
don't
talk
need to
whoever
speak
the-
to Oscar. We
who's the
absolutely do
equivalent
not
is?
need to see my dad at all. We're
Oh,
going
you
in there to
said
speak
the
about the
librarian.
teleportation circle.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk to whoever. I mean,
Right. He was just shit stirring as usual.
oh, I didn't clock the shit stir.
And probably whoever's in charge of the teleportation circle will be able to.
Yeah, we just need whoever's in charge and whoever can help us arrange some sort of escort for very important.
I mean, that's
That's a
if
fact.
you're even allowed to use a teleportation circle, you know? I don't know if they're using it for post yet.
This is diplomatic. stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's the crown, so.
This is returning a crown that was stolen by one of their citizens or flogged to one of them. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. All right, well.
Who do we ask? Where's the reception in this place?
I mean, start at reception.
Okay,
Start
you've
at reception.
got these two buildings, the circular one and the long rectangular one. It looks like the main entrance is to the circular one.
All right, let's go to
Alright,
reception.
Let's go through this charming halfling style door.
Okay. Inside, there is essentially a receptionist, and she says, "Yes, hello. You're not students here, are you?"
Previously, not at this specific academy, yes, but
Oh,
graduate.
graduate.
Taraj, yes.
Well, welcome to Heron's Perch.
Thank you. How lovely here. I was wondering, was the
I'm sorry,
head
you look familiar to me.
Do I haven't been here before?
He gets that a lot.
It's
Yeah.
because he's
One of
so
those
beautiful.
cases.
I just look like every other elf. Long hair. Wait, I don't have long hair anymore.
Is your father? Is your father here?
So
What
I've been
a
told.
question.
So I've been told.
I thought you looked familiar.
Great.
Did you come with him?
I did not.
Oh, okay. Well, are you here to see him?
Absolutely not. I was wondering if the head conjurer was available.
Oh, possibly. What do you want to speak to them about?
We have to have a diplomatic situation regarding a stolen. What was it, Dagmar?
It's a formal crown from Grund.
And she says, diplomatic.
Yes,
It was
I'm wondering if.
stolen by someone
Stolen.
in the Wandering Isles, and we would like to see about returning it to its rightful owner.
I'm not.
Potentially using the teleportation circle as a
Yeah.
fast means.
Oh,
We would
I
like to
see.
safely get it back to Grund.
Don't really want it being stolen again.
I see. So,
Yes.
so you want to speak to the person who's in charge of the teleportation circle?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes,
Yes.
I understand. Could you wait? Actually, could I have your names, please?
Sure. Horsey. Lichtenbraun.
And I'm Dagmar Amberforge.
Oh, look at you.
I know, it's quite nice of you to say that. I mean, on purpose. I set it all up by accident.
And we're traveling with us today are...
Emmanuel?
Yes,
Let him-
thank
let
you.
him choose.
Emmanuel Aresti.
Okay.
Emmanuel Aresti and Morzad Grodgovens.
Nice to meet you.
I hope that in canon Morzord is crocheting, please. Making
She's
like a cozy for his beer mug.
taken down these notes, and she turns around and asks someone else to cover the desk for her while she goes and sees someone. She says, I hope I won't take long. I'll be back soon.
Thank you.
You wait patiently, I assume, rather than wandering around the academy.
I feel
Let's
like we're
stay here.
probably going to avoid wandering aimlessly.
Dagmar, this is what you missed out on yesterday.
Oh, wait, what? Academies or waiting?
Sitting
Waiting.
down and waiting.
So much waiting.
Oh, wow. I mean, well, I was laying down and waiting.
Whoa,
That's
I
true.
suppose. Oh, you might you. Yes.
It was super boring down there.
Oh no, they had you in shackles. Oh, don't forget we have those shackles.
Oh, we do have shackles. Why
Did I
haven't
ever
we used them
identify
here?
those?
Yes, I think
I didn't
you did.
identify. Did I identify the shackles?
Mhm.
You
I'm
identified
almost certain you did.
how to turn
Oh, I
them
did.
off.
I think I dispelled magic on them. I think I made an intelligence check and I dispelled magic on them, but I didn't identify them.
Mm.
I'm gonna write that down.
After about a minute, the receptionist comes back and says, thank you for waiting. The headmaster will be here to see you shortly.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh,
That's handy.
great.
Okay,
Thank you.
we are asking about the teleportation circle. That is brand new technology, Dagmar.
Mhm.
I just thought that when the headmaster came to see you, you were in trouble.
If
Yeah,
the
that
headmaster
happens.
is an Ezid clone, I'm out.
It's just Ezid shows up.
As Vatericus
Is it in
says,
every city?
as Vatericus
Ezid's
says
brother?
that, looming behind him. No.
A Zed?
The shadow of two boobies.
But someone does step down, come down a set of steps. You see a female tiefling, or
Ooh, a tiefling.
half tiefling.
No. Didn't know that was
Can you be
She
half
is-
a tiefling? I thought.
Apparently.
Like,
There's the
Apparently.
thing. She, one side of her is a
So
dark
literally.
red tiefling. The other side is a fair-skinned human, and she is split directly down the middle. She's what
Oh,
we might consider a biological chimera.
chimera,
I was
yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
one of those cool cats with the.
Or like one of those drag performers in the 90s who was
What?
like,
Who did the half?
I
Yep.
did like
Yeah.
the half, yeah.
yeah.
The headmaster.
And
Half.
that great cosplay I saw of Vision and Wonder.
Yes.
Oh,
cool.
yeah, the grey and, yeah, that was
Yeah.
good.
And
Half tiefling.
she smiles and says, "Orsi, come." And she beckons to you, and sort of sees the rest of you and says, "Oh, please, all of you, come."
Yes, ma'am.
I'm maintaining locate person. I assume we're headed towards Oscar at this point.
No, you are not.
Oh, good.
Oh,
That's all right.
fuck.
I
Do
will
I know
quietly
her?
pass that
I don't
to
know
Orson.
her, right? Okay.
No,
Is Viddy just emitting a low-level beep to let Orsi know?
Has he got sonar? Is that what locate creature
Yeah.
is?
Tapping Orsi's arm in,
Is he
like,
just
increasing or
screaming?
decreasing.
Yeah.
No,
No, he's
Orsi,
just saying beep.
Orsi,
Yeah.
you do not recognise her.
Okay, cool.
But there was
She's
a
heard
note.
about you.
There was a note of recognition in her voice, but
Oh, cool.
not necessarily from having met you.
Oh, she met you as a baby.
Either that or Dad's been telling stories over coffee and she now knows about the time where he was naked in the mud and,
Mhm.
when he was 3
Oh, no.
or 30.
She leads you
It was quite recent.
up the steps to the headmaster's office, invites you inside, closes the door. You see that there are security runes around this building.
Yeah, nice.
Are
Are they similar to what Izard would have, or different?
Yes, very similar.
Okay, cool.
And she says, and there are a few seats, it looks like chairs for when students come in to speak to her. And she says, "Please, take a seat." And she goes around to her side of the desk and sits down. And she says, "Orsi, so it's a pleasure to finally meet you."
And you
yes,
too.
She has heard the stories.
I don't know if I ever caught your name. Forgive me.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Serenity, but you can call me Sarah.
Serenity?
Serenity.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just writing that down. Serenity. But
It's
she said we could call her Sarah, was it?
Yeah.
that's cute.
Sere, but pronounced Sarah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
The long tradition of naming tieflings after virtues.
Love that.
Sounds
Serenity.
like quite a burden.
And she says, "Yes, your mother's very proud of you."
Oh, is she?
Wait, Mum's here as well?
Oh, God, wait, is my mother here?
I assume Mortod said that out loud. And she says, No, but I knew her in Gold before moving here.
Oh, right. Oh, I didn't know too many of my mother's acquaintances. Forgive me.
No, that's fine. Why would she speak about all of us? So, the young lady said something about a diplomatic incident?
Oh, yes. Dagmar, would you like to explain the situation?
Yes. So we found ourselves checking a local manor for demons and such. And we came across this, and I will pull the crown from the bag of holding, making extra careful to really concentrate on the crown.
Yeah, don't get the other crown.
Yeah, don't get
don't get
the
held.
other crown. Yeah, don't want to pull that one out.
Dwarven crown. It's like, this is the formal
As soon as it appears, she leans in. She is very interested in.
yeah, isn't it gorgeous? This is actually an Amberforgian crown made by one of my ancestors, my great-great-great-grandfather, for the Queen of Grund, and it was stolen a couple of decades ago. I wasn't born, but they're still bitching about it. And so we found this in this manor, where we found some other sketchy stuff that Orsi can probably tell you about.
And she
Very
says-
Yes,
gnarly
She said,
sword.
is this manor in Heron's Perch?
it is.
Yes.
I see. Not
Yeah, I was recently held captive in the basement. It was an interesting
It's
time.
This
another,
is-
another story.
Well, I mean, this is fascinating. I'm not entirely sure why you're telling me, though.
I would like to return this crown to the Queen of Grund, Queen Ursuline, and I would like to make sure it gets there safely because it is such a priceless artifact, and I don't want to risk losing it at sea. We had quite an incident on the ship over here that resulted in dozens of deaths, so
Yep.
we would like to make sure it gets there. And I would quite like to include a note just to
So-
let her know who found it.
Can
She
I
wants to use a teleportation circle.
Right. I
That's
was
Yeah.
just about to
Yeah.
clarify that.
Yeah.
Well, so you're seeking to travel through the teleport.
No, I don't want to go. We would love to send it, perhaps with someone trustworthy who might need to.
Oh, I
Go.
see.
We have no business in Grund. It's not ideal for me to go there personally.
He's got things we got to do.
We are currently working for the academy. No, we're not. That's not allowed. We're currently doing stuff.
And she stops you there and
Operations in
says,
Providence.
and she says, "Don't worry, Izard told me you were coming."
Oh my god.
okay. Cool. We're working for Izard. We can't leave.
And she adds, "I am, so to speak, the Izard of Heron's Perch."
Right. Oh, well then we love
Mozart
you.
tries really hard not to look at her cleavage at this point.
Sorry, depth of V on Sarah's.
Yeah, what's she wearing?
Titty
Actually,
window.
Quite modest compared to
Oh.
Izard.
Dang it.
So she's
Everyone's
the
modest compared to Izard.
That's
she's
true.
the
Well, yes,
emotional
there is
equivalent.
that.
She's not the spiritual equivalent.
Yeah, no. As soon as she said, "I am the Izard," though, Mozart was having that sudden, "Oh, you've got a lovely ceiling."
No,
I mean-
she's not the Izard. There's another. She's the headmaster. Izard's not the headmaster of the
No.
Arcos Academy. She's
Yeah,
referring to
she's-
the Izard of this academy.
Yeah, she is
Yeah.
subtly saying that she is in charge of the
Yeah.
Pathfinders.
Pathfinder's here as well.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
She's
Um,
doing both jobs.
Yes,
Yes.
says she,
We can't go ourselves. But, if this crown doesn't get back and a word gets out that it's been flogged over here, things could get messy,
she says,
diplomatically speaking.
huh, that is very hard to argue with. Now, do you know someone that you could send it through with? Someone you trust?
Do we
Oh,
know
that's a good point because we don't really know any couriers or anything, do we?
We have people we could
anyone?
potentially ask.
Friends?
I mean, do you have trustworthy couriers that you've got?
Is there any other mages headed back to Talraj?
And she says, "Oh, you're asking whether there's someone I would trust to send it with?"
You trust them, I trust them.
I think aren't we just sort of feeling around for how to do this?
We only recently arrived in Heron's Perch, so we're a little skint on knowing people.
What about that priest of Fainothwin? I mean, they're fairly trustworthy, right? As a general rule.
I mean, I
Oh,
would
that's-
trust that priest of faith
Right.
with
Yes,
a great
that
many
one.
everythings.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know
correct.
if he's available.
Yeah, he's probably got things to do, priesty things.
Fairly expensive from what I hear as well. So I guess that maybe isn't an
I
option.
also don't think I would probably send an elf into Grund bearing
Yeah, fair call.
a
I mean,
crown.
the courier doesn't have to go all the way. I'm sure they could send someone. They could take it to Talraj and then I don't know how many hands.
the more
I was
handovers
gonna
there
say,
is, the more
how many ends do
opportunity
you
for
want it to go
thieves.
through? That's probably
It's true.
It's very valuable. We
Because
need
those
someone
two
very
cats,
boring.
Yeah, those two tabaxi at large. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we did see this little wanted poster for them, didn't we?
Allegedly, they're the best thieves that ever lived.
Sarah very
Double dose.
politely raises her hand.
Yes. Oh,
Yes, sorry.
Forgive us. Yes, please go. We want to do
You
that.
don't, with all due respect, you don't really seem to have thought this through.
Well, no, we only found it this morning, frankly.
We do have other magical artifacts that the Academy should possibly take possession of.
The aforementioned gnarly sword.
Yeah, do you want to pull out the demon sword?
I don't have the demon sword.
Yeah,
it's
who
not in the
was
bag.
carrying it? Wasn't
Oh,
the
that's
bag?
it. Who's We didn't lose track of the demon sword, I swear.
Oh, don't put it in the bags. I have control of
That's a
the
good point. No, it's a good point. I didn't say don't put it in the bag. Who was hanging
We
onto
left
it?
right here. I think it was Aussie because you never said that you gave it to anyone else. So
I had it.
You've just been walking around with that over your
The
shoulder.
demon sword on my hilt.
The demon sword. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she says,
Ice cream in one hand, demon sword in the other.
I was curious about that.
Oh, the
Ominous
screaming
glow.
glowing demon sword. Yes.
Is it screaming? Because I can't hear it.
Oh no,
I-
that's not. It's not screaming. We have
I just
another
assume.
screaming
I just
thing.
assume it's screaming. Oh yeah, the screaming is. Ignore that. That's fine. We know what that is.
It's kind of like screaming if you smell its magic. I'll tell you what.
Well, I will say it certainly has the look of a artifact of great power.
Do
It's
you have
really-
any idea as to
really
why? Oh, go on,
arresting,
Morzo.
innit? No,
It's
no.
very
I was just
arresting,
commenting on that. Yeah.
This random fam, like, we don't know if these were the bandits who tried to kidnap our Dagmar, or if this was the family who were a fence for stolen magical artifacts. It's rather strange.
She says,
I was kidnapped. This all came about because I was kidnapped.
okay, before I get too confused, could you please just place the blade on the table here?
Is it going to burn the top of your table? It's pretty nice.
No, well, it wasn't burning me when I was touching it.
Well, yeah, no, but I mean, if you leave it in one spot for too long, I don't know.
Horsey, you recognize the spell Identify as it's being cast.
Mhm.
And as she finishes, she looks at...
It's pretty bad. I know.
Yes, you were quite right to bring this to my attention.
Kind of makes your eyes water, doesn't it?
I think I'm going to have to insist that you leave this with me to protect.
100%. Yeah,
we don't really want to carry it around.
yeah, we really don't.
Good.
Kind of stressing us out. Actually,
Yeah,
when
more
we remember. When we remember, it's there.
Morzod is the holy type. It seems to have been giving him the heebie-jeebies.
It's not nice.
Please tell me everything about how you found this. And I'm not going to make you roleplay the
just-
conversation.
Fill in
Yeah.
events.
Fill in the blanks. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll explain the kidnapping and everything.
And
No, all the stuff.
at the end, she'll say, well, this is starting to add up. I've had concerns about the collectors operating in Heron's Perch.
It's always the bloody collectors, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Bad enough that they trade in historical artifacts of great gold value, but this is exactly the kind of reason why we keep trying to tell people that dealing with collectors is dangerous rather than just irresponsible. Well, if you give me the details of the place where you found this, and you say Captain Rowe knows.
Yeah.
Yes, we
She-
didn't
she
fill
was
her in
wise.
about the crown. Just so you know.
I see.
She was very busy.
I
Yeah,
do think she has.
Put a diplomatic issue in her lap.
She's got
was
enough on her
very
plate, yeah.
stressed.
She kind of might have had a meltdown.
I do think she took some of the, because they also had stolen Genolton artifacts in their possession as well from Society Duke. So I do think she's taken those as evidence, and she has placed the house under her jurisdiction.
Well,
I think.
Well, I think I shall take this up with Captain Rowe and use this to further investigate connections that the Han family might have with collectors in Heron's Perch. And see where it goes from there. I suspect that my inclusion in this matter will certainly add some gravity to it. Thank you very much, young Lichtenbrand, for bringing this to me. This is significant. Well, is there anything else I can do for you while you're here? At this point, there is a knock on the door behind you, and it opens, and it's this same receptionist who is there.
That's the receptionist. Chill out.
Accompanying her.
Is Vaterica's pinging?
Yeah, ping.
No, Vaterigus is not pinging, because accompanying the receptionist is the gentleman who met you at the palace as the usher. the former major domo of the former governor.
Buddy.
And he
Gareth.
says, "Oh, pardon me, headmaster. Well, this will save me some time. Headmaster, I have your invitation for the masquerade ball. I also happen to have invitations for you, and he points to Vitericus and Morzod."
Thank you very
Do
much,
they-
Gareth.
Do these things come with +1s?
Lucy is trying not to look extremely annoyed.
And he says, yes, they do.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Wonderful.
I'm required to say that Her Royal Highness Princess Imrana II of the Kingdom of Talras formally requests your blah, 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 blah. And he goes on for a little bit. And then he finishes by saying, "These are your invitations. It would be convenient if you could give me a verbal response at this time, but it is not necessary."
Oh, of course I will be there.
That means yes.
Yes, Mozart, say yes.
Yes, yes.
And
Sorry. Yes.
Serenity says, "I too will attend. Thank you very much for coming. I hope this is not too taxing on you at the moment." And the usher says, "Oh no, I just need to find every single noble in all of the town and deliver these before the end of the day. I only had this morning to draw up the list of invitees. Thank you. I need to go."
Gareth, are you going to the ball? Do you have an invite?
He says, "I hope you enjoy yourselves," and leaves.
Well, we need to get one of you guys an invite then, because he's my +1, so I don't know what the rest of you are doing.
Well, I'm Mozart's +1, obviously. So
Well,
also,
look, I
you're
mean-
gonna have to get.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Look, I'm pretty sure Decassia is under employee of the crown, so I can be his +1. Perfect.
Sarah says to you, Orsi, "There's no one. I do not have a +1 to take with me. So if you're desperate."
I'm not desperate.
It's all right. I'm
two
sure
would
we'll
look-
figure it out.
Or you could
two
always
look
ask your
lovely
father, I'm
together,
sure.
though. The two of you.
It's true.
I can
Right,
just-
look, I'm never going to
look
be that desperate.
look at them standing together like that. They look fantastic.
Very striking.
I actually, perhaps you would know. I'm expecting a friend of mine, Cassius Raymond. He's also a graduate of the Coruscant Academy. I mean, you should know him if you know my mother.
Oh, yes. We helped arrange for his... Oh, dear.
Oh dear.
So his transfer here was so that he could be employed by the Han family. And that's where we're
that's
going to
awkward.
end this this session and this episode of AntipoDnD. Thank you very much for
The
watching.
plot chickens.
We will be back next week with maybe fewer technical difficulties, but that is not up to us, sadly.
Don't promise that. Don't promise that.
That's why I said maybe.
Something will get your internet out faster.
We might be back with even worse technical difficulties. Won't that be fun?
Yay, Australia.
That's cool. We'll have a PowerPoint presentation.
Thank you for watching. Bye.